Welcome to the Electoral Commission of Queensland's webinar about real-time disclosures. This webinar has information about real-time disclosures for candidates and groups of candidates in the upcoming 2024 local government election in Queensland and will cover what is real-time disclosure, what amounts of electoral expenditure and gifts and loans must be disclosed, when you should disclose your expenditure and gifts or loans, where you can get more information or assistance from the ecq if needed. You might be accessing this webinar as a candidate yourself, either an independent candidate or a candidate campaigning in a group of candidates. You might be accessing this webinar as the agent of a candidate or a group of candidates. Anyone who is contesting the local government election as a candidate must understand their real-time disclosure obligations. Real-time disclosure is one way the integrity and transparency of campaign funding is ensured. Candidates must lodge returns to the ecq disclosing any gifts or loans they receive of $500 or over and any electoral expenditure that they incur. If a person or entity gives multiple gifts that together make up $500 or more, all gifts, including future gifts, from this donor must be disclosed. For more information about what constitutes a gift, our webinar, What Counts as a Gift, may be helpful. When a candidate or group of candidates incurs electoral expenditure of $500 or more, the expenditure must be disclosed. Electoral expenditure is cumulative. Once the $500 threshold is reached, all previous and future expenditure must be disclosed. The timeframes for real-time disclosure depend upon when in the campaign period you receive the gift or loan or incur expenditure. Usually, you will need to lodge your return disclosing gifts or expenditure within 7 business days. However, during the 7 business days before the election, all returns must be lodged within 24 hours or receiving the gift or incurring expenditure. Once you lodge a return through the EDS, it will be visible to the public. The first example I'll go through involves candidate Jane receiving a gift of $250 from a supporter. 3 months later, the same supporter gives candidate Jane another $250 gift. As these two gifts reach the $500 threshold, candidate Jane must lodge returns within 7 business days of receiving the second gift. The returns must detail both gifts. When a candidate or group of candidates receive multiple gifts or loans from the same donor that collectively reach the $500 threshold, all gifts or loans from that supporter must be disclosed within 7 business days of receiving the gift that equaled or exceeded the $500. If the same supporter later gives more gifts or loans, a return must be lodged within 7 business days of receiving each gift or loan. The second example I'll go through involves the group of candidates called To Infinity and Beyond. And To Infinity and Beyond spends $750 on campaign flyers to hand out when going door to door. Because the electoral expenditure is more than $500, To Infinity and Beyond's agent must lodge a return within 7 business days of the date the electoral expenditure is incurred. All future electoral expenditure, regardless of the value, also must be disclosed within 7 business days of the date incurred. Remember, once the $500 threshold has been reached, all future expenditure must be disclosed in real time. The next topic I'll cover is election summary returns. After the election, every candidate and group of candidates needs to lodge an election summary return in the electronic disclosure system. The election summary return includes all gifts and loans received, even those that didn't meet the $500 threshold, all expenditure incurred, the dedicated account bank statement. It is important to keep all your records about your gifts, loans, and expenditure for 5 years. All election summary returns must be lodged within ecq within 15 weeks of election day. For more details, view the webinar Election Summary Returns. The ecq has published a comprehensive range of fact sheets about electoral expenditure and the new expenditure caps on our website. This is where we recommend you go next for comprehensive information. The specific fact sheets that expand on the topics we've discussed today are Fact Sheet 18, Real-Time Disclosure of Electoral Expenditure, Fact Sheet 20, Real-Time Disclosure of Gifts and Loans by Candidates, and Fact Sheet 25, Real-Time Disclosure of Gifts and Loans by Agents of Groups. If we've used any terms today that you're not sure about or would like more information on, for example, what is electoral expenditure, please head to our fact sheet page as you'll be able to find more information there. You can also find more information at the ecq's website, the Local Government Electoral Act, and the Funding, Disclosure and Compliance team. It is important to remember that the ecq provides general advice only, and should you be in any doubt regarding your obligations, please seek independent legal advice. Thank you.